Recent polling shows that 16% of likely voters have never heard of Senator Tim Kaine. 12% don't know who Governor Mike Pence is. Oh, well. 21% have no opinion of Kaine. 14% have no opinion of Pence. Jessica Tarlov is a Democratic pollster and a senior political strategist for Schoen Consultants. Mercedes Schlapp is a GOP strategist and former spokesperson for President George W. Bush. Thanks to both of you for joining us.
Yeah.
Jessica, this debate might actually have some substance. These candidates might get down and really talk about the issues. It's a lot less about style. Am I right to hope for this?
No, you're not at all, and I think this is what Americans, or Americans who know that it's happening tomorrow night, are hoping for as well. We've heard a lot of people say, oh, let's just talk about the issues, and now you might get your chance. It'll probably be a little bit less interesting, obviously. No one on the stage will be as colorful as Donald Trump. But I think that we are going to hear about the policies. We're going to hear about records. We're going to hear about, causes that both of these men have fought for through their entire careers.
Mercedes, Mike Pence, he's a very funny guy. Do we have that soundbite? I like when he came out and he introduced himself. Well, he's funny in spite of himself. Let me show you what I mean.
It's a long way from Indiana to New York City. Really. I mean, I like to tell people, he's charismatic, bigger than life, interesting, and, and then there's, me. Kind of balance the ticket.
90 minutes on stage. There's going to be a great opportunity for the American public to see if this guy can tell the truth. I mean, or maybe if he recognizes the truth.
Okay, so setting aside that a lot of people don't know who those two guys are, when they see them come out, Mercedes, Mike Pence, he's self-effacing, which is not something we've seen a lot of in this campaign. He's likable, another thing that the headliners really miss. Could be interesting to get to know him more.
Well, I have to tell you, in conservative circles, Mike Pence is viewed as he's Reagan-esque. He's just such a strong communicator. He understands how to talk about economic issues, national security. In Indiana alone, he was able to reduce the unemployment rate by more than half. So I really think that Pence has an opportunity to connect to the ordinary American out there, to talk about Trump's economic and national security vision for America. And I think it gives Mike Pence an opportunity to almost reset a bit the campaign after we saw just a very bad week last week for Donald Trump. And let me tell you, this goes back to 2012 when Biden and Ryan had their vice presidential debate. It was Biden who really was able to help President Obama, who really had a very poor first debate against Mitt Romney.
Yeah. Jessica, Tim Kaine is a guy they like to say he's never lost an election. I bet we're going to see the reason why.
Yeah, no, I think so. He's a very skilled politician, but he's also a really genuine guy. As you mentioned in the introduction, nobody dislikes Tim Kaine. I remember the day that it came out that he was going to be VP. I believe it was Jeff Flake tweeted, trying to think of something mean to say about this guy, but I just can't. Congratulations to Tim Kaine. So you're going to see that. I think he may speak in Spanish a little bit, talk about his son's military service. To Mercedes' point, conservatives do love Mike Pence for obvious reasons, but I think Tim Kaine's going to be hitting him on a lot of those issues, the conservative agenda points, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act specifically, talking about how anti-choice he's been, anti-Planned Parenthood, doesn't want to raise the minimum wage and issues like that. But that will help enormously to shore up conservative.
So wait, hang on. Before we devolve into this, let me ask you, Mercedes, when one of them gets out there and they express an opinion or a stance, is it right to assume that that is the position for the whole ticket? Is that fair? Because there's a lot of distance between Mike Pence and Donald Trump on a normal day.
Well, I think for Mike Pence, his job is to support Donald Trump's vision. I think they're very much in line about the fact of tax reform, cutting taxes, cutting regulations, which we know are strangling businesses. And so it gives an opportunity to talk about how are we going to create economic growth in America. I think you're going to see more of a substantive policy in talk, basically. You're also going to be talking about trade. So I think for the question for Tim Kaine is that he supports this he increased taxes while he was Virginian governor over, $4 billion. He's going to have to defend himself on this big tax, big spending, extreme type of policy, and really just very much cozy with the Wall Street.
I don't think that's
we gotta go. You both answered twice. It was fair and balanced. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Bye, guys.